Hello YouTube, this is Sanam and welcome to my channel Public Void Geek. So today we are going to talk about Razorpay, a payment gateway provider for India. They do allow international payments as well, but it's basically an Indian payment gateway, an alternate to Stripe, as Stripe is not available in India. It's quite popular these days. So we will be integrating this in our sample app, and you can see a lot of applications or websites today are using Razorpay, like Urban Clap, Udacity, Quicker. Almost big brands, all the big brands are using Razorpay these days. So let's dive into it and let's do some coding. Right, guys. So in order to do the Razorpay integration, we need a few things. First thing is the API key, amount in Pesa, and of course Cocoapods. So these are the three basic things that we need in order for our app to communicate with Razorpay and its server. So let's get started. Let's create an Xcode project. Let's start with a new Xcode project here. A single view application is fine for now, and let's say razor try. Let's make razor try today. I don't need this, I don't need this. And Swift is what we're going to use, Swift language. And yeah, desktop is fine. Create. I'll set my team, and let's do a try run command build. And it works, as you can see here. So we don't need a physical device this time, so we can use a simulator. So I'm gonna use 6S for this purpose. So let's do some. So the whole idea is not about designing the app right now. We just want to see how the payment gateway gets integrated. There's a payment gateway, and so I'm not going to focus on the UI design part of this. So let's create a label. Sorry, let's create a label here and do a command D to duplicate it. And then let's put a button here. So this label is gonna be the error message. So error message, that's it. And let's say paid, right? So if the payment is successful, we will see paid. If not, we'll see error message. I know we can do it in with single UI label, but it's just for the demo purpose, guys. So I'm just gonna go for the basic here. So let's set this one to red color and increase the font to 20 and set it to semi-bold. And you can do a command equal. So same for this one. I'll set it to this color 20, and semi-bold is okay for this as well. Command equal, and we have this. So let's set some constraints. I'm gonna set 70 from top, width be 150 and height be 30. let's do this 30 from top, width be 50 and height 30. This one let's set horizontally in container, there we go, and this one also horizontally in container, there we go, center and center. Cool, we have that, and now let's do the button as well. So 0 0 0, and let's make height equal to 60. That should do it. Yep. So I have a hex color. I'm gonna set that to this button background. So let's do that. Blue doesn't go good with this color, so let's do this to white, and let's increase the font. It's okay. Semi bold as well. So instead of button, we're gonna set it to pay now. Right, so we have error message, UI label, paid UI label, and pay now button. So we're gonna hide this error message, hidden and hidden. So let's run our project and let's see what we have now. And we have it. So error message and paid is hidden right now, so we cannot see it, while pay now button is there, but it doesn't do anything right now. So we'll hook them up. In order to do that, let's create some IB outlets and actions. So holding Alt, I'm gonna press, or I'm gonna open this view controller with single click. It will give me the assistant editor here. So I'm gonna hide this. So we have this error message, so let's create some outlets. Sorry guys, I have little cold, so my voice is a bit heavy. So let's call it error LBL, and another one will be paid LBL, and let's get rid of this did receive memory move warning, and pay now button. So it should be an action, and let's say pay now button pressed. So we have our pay now button pressed, we have our error label, and we have our paid label. So if there is an error in payment, this is the one which should be visible, and if the payment is successful, it should be the paid one which should be visible. So this is the basic structure right now. Now we need to integrate the Cocoapods, or the pod for our Razorpay payment gateway. So let's do that. In order to do that, we need to close the Xcode, stop task, and close the Xcode. Alright, now we have closed our Xcode project, so let's integrate Razorpay pod. So we can do it using terminal or the pod file. So I'll be using terminal for this one. Let's open our terminal, cd desktop, Razorpay pod init, and this is the link for Razorpay pod. So all you need to do is go to cocoapods.org and search for Razorpay, you'll get this 1.0.6. That's the one we are using here, because if you see 1.0.6 is compatible to Swift version 4, whereas 1.0.5 is the one compatible to Swift 3.1. So we are using Swift 4, so we'll be using 1.0.6 here. So copy it, go here and do pi pod file, press I, command V, escape WQ. Now do pod install. Sometimes this type of error does come up, so where it asks you to update the Cocoapods. So we just need to do this one, pod repo update. So let's do this. So this is complete. Now let's install the pod. Again, pod install. As you can see, it's installing Razorpay pod 1.0.6. Give it a minute and it should be downloaded and installed. So we can check, we have the XE Workspace. So let's open it. Open razorpay.xew.xe Workspace. So after installing Cocoapods, you need to open XE Workspace instead of opening XE project file. Okay, so we are here inside pods. You can see frameworks, iOS, here frameworks. So we have pods installed. So let's go here and do a command B so that the Cocoapods Razorpay is compiled. So build succeeded, good for us. Okay, let's start. So we need to go to view controller and import Razorpay, and let's run once again to make sure that everything is working after importing Razorpay. It works. Let's check here. And as you can see, our labels are hidden and pay now button still doesn't work. That means the project is fine after importing Razorpay. So we have imported Razorpay in the view controller. So you need to import this Razorpay on all those view controllers wherever you want the payment to get initiated, right? So in order to integrate now, so we need to uh, set a dedicate here. So you can say Razor payment completion protocol. This is the one that we need, and as soon as you that, it's gonna give you uh, an error that the protocol we are not confirming to the protocol. So let's confirm to the protocol by clicking on fix. So we have these two methods, command X, and let's put it here. So we have these two methods. So first one is the on payment error. So if there is any error in payments, we're gonna handle it here. So handle all the errors. So we're gonna make sure that the transaction doesn't get completed or the order doesn't get completed, and we show user proper error and everything. So for now we will just do error label dot is hidden is equal to true, and paid label dot is hidden is equal to true. Sorry, this one should be is hidden should be false. So user should see the error label now, and this one says is hidden true. So paid label should be, yeah, that's okay. And vice versa for payment success, we will handle all the success work here. So we can handle like order completion, placing the order in the back end, and getting the order ID, showing it to displaying it to the user, and all that stuff. uh, all those functions can be called here. For now we will just inverse these two things. So this one has to be true. So if payment is successful, error label should be hidden, whereas the paid label should be visible. Right. So we are done with this. So now even if we run it now, we cannot see it working because we are not getting anything over here. So these are just the protocol delegates. Uh, so let's handle the other thing, which is you know uh, showing up the payment form basically. So let's create that first. So let's call it func show payment form. So this is the one that we will be calling inside our button, right? So uh, these are the things that we're gonna pass on to Razorpay, saying that okay, this is the amount, this is the uh, you know details of the order, and everything is gonna go here, and customer is going to see this particular thing when he taps on Pay Now button. Right. So let's get started with this. So let uh, params, which is basically parameters. It's good. Take string and any. Right. Okay. So it's a key value pair basically. Right. So string any, and it should not be comma. It should be this one. Right. So let's give it the first thing, and the mandatory thing that we need is the amount. So you have to write it exactly the same. I'm gonna show you from where I got this. It's right over here. uh, Not here. Let me show you. If you go to mobile integration, so yeah, you have a few things here, you can see here, but this is Objective-C for Swift. They have the you can see here, this is where we have the details. Let me show you. iOS, you can see it says amount string. So don't worry, you can see here, right over here, see amount in small, and then so I'll give you the link in the description below, so you can add extra parameters whatever you want. So amount is the one that is required, that you need to give. Apart from amount, you can leave everything optional. It's up to you if you want to give it or not. So uh, let's complete the parameters now. So amount has to be filled in Pesa. If you remember, I gave you told you initially that it's gonna be in Pesa. So how it gets calculated is like uh, 1 rupee, so that is 100 paisa, right? So 10 rupees, you're gonna multiply the rupee with 100, so that's gonna give you the paisa. So let's say this transaction is for 100 rupees, so that means it's gonna be what, this is going to be what, 10 and 1000, 10,000, yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Let's see. Okay, so comma, another one that we're gonna put is description. So this is where we put the product, basically the product name. So let's say sample product. Another one is the image. So this is going to ask you for the image URL. So let's go here and see for image URL. Oh no, sorry. Let's go to Google and search for Razorpay images. This one looks okay for me. Yeah, looks okay. View image. So I'm just gonna copy the link and put it here. Alright. So we need to do one more thing, since the image or the URL is coming from HTTP. So we're gonna have to do some settings in info.plist. We're gonna go back to that one later. Let's complete our parameters first, and then is the name. So name is basically your company name or your business name. So I'm gonna put public void geek. Right. Next is gonna be this is again optional, but I'm still doing it. It's called prefill. So it's gonna prefill the uh, username or the email address and the contact number. So usually it is suggested that when you are if you're using an e-commerce, or if you're doing an e-commerce transaction on your app, it's better that you input users data from your database. So it's gonna ask again the same thing. String and any, an array of string and any. So let's do it. First thing is the contact, right? So let's do it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 digit mobile number, and then the email. So let's say test@test.com, right? And that should be enough for prefill, because we have only two items to be entered, or yeah, contact number and email address. Then the next thing is gonna be the theme. You can select the theme. So I have my hex color, so I'm gonna put that. And my hex color is this one. And don't worry about this, I'm coming back to this very soon. This is just the API key that we need to enter. So this is the theme color. I think we have everything now. So we just need to call one function, which is basically, oh, we have not created the variable yet. So let's create the variable, which is going to call the functions. So let's create a variable here, var Razorpay. It's gonna be of type Razorpay, and you can unwrap it here, because we know that uh, it will have the value, because we're gonna give the value in view did load itself. So let's do that as well. Let's delete this. It's gonna be Razorpay. Our variable is equal to Razorpay dot init with key, this one. It says Razorpay payment completion protocol. So this is the key which I was talking about just a few minutes back, which was this one. So this is a test key. If you want, you can use it. If you don't want, you can create your account, get your test key, you can get your live key. So if you are in production, you're going to use your live key. I'm using a sample test key. So let's do that. Let API underscore key is equal to this one. So let's put API key and delegate is self. Now now we can go here, and after parameters we can set it up. So let's say Razorpay dot open. It's asking for the so see, it was saying it needs dictionary of any. We gave the dictionary string and any. So options, which is basically the parameters. So params. Right. So we have everything now with us. We need to call this function here, which is show payment form. I think that's all we need in order to do the payment gateway or the payment processing with Razorpay in iOS with Swift 4. Yeah, one more thing we need to do or we need to handle is this info.plist. We need to enable HTTP access. So just go to this last uh, item and then click on the plus icon and go to app transport security settings, and then go to this drop down and then create, and then click on plus icon again and click on allow arbitrary loads, and then select it as yes. So let's do command build and let's make sure everything is there in place. Okay, let's run the project and let's see if it works. I'm gonna stop this and then run it again. Okay, we have our pay now button. Let's try to see if pay now button works. So it's working. See, it open public void gig. Our sample product is there and it is 100 rupees. So you can see uh, if we wanted to do like 1000 rupees, so we can add one more zero here. So basically you just need to multiply with 100. Okay, and our phone number is coming from here, our email address is coming from here. So let's try to do a sample transaction. Since it's a test API, so we will have the option to pass or fail the transaction. So let's do that. So let's select HDFC, pay 100. It's gonna say success or fail. Let's do a failure first. I don't want to try it, I just want to close it, and we have the error message. Let's try again, and this time let's do a successful transaction, and it says paid. So this is how you integrate Razorpay in your iOS app. If you have any more questions, please do ask in the comment section below, or you can ask me on Twitter as well. I will leave the SDK documentation or the Cocoapods link, as well as the link where you can find all these values that you can add. Just need to make sure that the amount has to be in pesos. So if you have a 500 rupees product coming from the API or your database, if the product value is 500, so whenever you want to pass it to the amount, just multiply it with 100, right? So it's gonna convert it into peso. And then another thing is the your API key, which is test key right now. So make sure you are on production when you're doing on the actual app, right? You can add few more things if you want, like currency type you can set to INR. So all these things can be done. You can even restrict, if you check here, if you click on pay now, you have all these options right now. You can, if you don't want UPI, you can remove UPI. Again, you need to pass in the parameters. If you don't want any particular wallet to be integrated, you can do that as well. So yeah, all these things are available. User can go back, so there are delegate methods available for that as well. So this is all we have for Razorpay today, and I mean Razorpay payment gateway integration today. So well, let me know in comment section if you need any help about this, and if you want any other payment gateway videos or any other video that you want for iOS Swift. Right. uh, until then, bye bye, take care.